Sports Medicine is the most trusted of its kind in Northeast Indiana. That's because of the benefits our services provide you. We serve every level of athlete with our sports nutritionists, the expert physicians at O&E, the area's only specialized athletic rehab, and the region's industry leader in sports performance, AWP. The roster coordinates your care in state-of-the-art facilities conveniently located in your community. To start your journey, visit us at parkviewsportsmedicine.com.
Welcome in, Indiana high school basketball fans. SummitCitySports.com is live from Fort Wayne, Indiana, host site of the 2016 Parkview Sports Medicine Summit Athletic Holiday Basketball Tournament. Wayne High School being put on by Athletic Director Gary Raber and staff. An outstanding environment here for the championship game. On the boys' side, the number 1 seeded Northside Legends and the number 2 seeded Homestead Spartans. But before we talk about tonight's game, let's talk about our first game here this afternoon as we bring Justin Kenny in from the News Sentinel. Tim Atkinson here calling your play-by-play. We saw the Homestead Lady Spartans at number 1 seed against the number 3 seed, the Carroll Lady Chargers, in the first game at 4 p.m., which we saw the Homestead Lady Spartans taking the title and back-to-back for the SAC Holiday Tournament. Justin, blowout situation we saw, and several kids stepped up for Homestead to go along with McLaughlin and Parker.
Yeah, everything that Homestead seemed to struggle with against Snyder yesterday, turnovers, struggled outside shooting against Snyder. They were on, dropped 32 first quarter points against Carroll. The game was over before it really began. Homestead was firing on all cylinders and really rolled 76-47 to win their second straight SAC Holiday Tournament championship.
Yeah, they're an outstanding team, one of the best that I've seen. Justin, I know you've been doing this for quite a while. Where do you put Homestead in the overall scheme of things of teams that you've seen, and specifically Crystal McLaughlin compared to other players that you've seen?
Well, I don't think we've seen a team, and this goes for the last couple of years with Homestead, so much better than any other team in the area. That's what was so fun yesterday in that Snyder game, is we actually saw them have to play a full 4 quarters against a city team, you know?
Yep.
And that goes on both boys and girls side. I mean, rarely have we seen a team so good that really, the conference is over before it really starts. This tournament was over before it really started in most cases. So phenomenal job by Homestead. Now next year will be interesting. No Carissa McLaughlin, no Madison Parker, Jasmine Geifs moves on. They're going to be very good next year. But when you don't have probably Indiana Miss Basketball and Carissa McLaughlin, right, how does that change things? I think maybe Homestead drops a little bit back to earth next year. Still be very good. Could very well be the 1 seed next year. But I think a lot of other teams are going to give them a run next year. Closer games than what we've seen the last couple of years.
Homestead, the Spartans and head coach Rod Parker really has his kids going, preparing for, they will accept nothing but a state title this year after falling short last year in the opening round of semi-state. So Coach Rod Parker and his kids kind of have a chip on their shoulder. It's really weird to see that with an undefeated team with so much hub. They kind of consider themselves almost an underdog sort of thing when it comes to the state run, which is all they really care about.
Yeah, definitely. They've melded their schedule to everything goes toward making that run in February and getting to the state championship game. They played teams like Chicago Simeon. They're playing Lawrence North next Tuesday, Heritage Christian, Carmel. They go to Ohio Martin Luther King Jr. weekend to play the best team in Ohio in Mason. So everything goes toward getting ready for that because, like you said, they get to the state finals 2 years ago and fall short. They lose last year to Penn in semi-state. So this is the year where they want everything to fall together. Thus far, sitting undefeated, number 1 team in 4A. Everything's gone well for them thus far, but they got plenty of challenges ahead.
Well, moving on and looking at tonight's matchup, the boys' action just about 7.5 minutes away. The crowd is starting to pack in here, Justin. What an atmosphere that we have here. One of the best atmospheres in all of any type of high school tournament. You'll see kids from the losing squads throughout the tournament. Half the kids here, the student athletes, come to watch the championship games. There is not going to be an empty seat in the house. What do you think as far as keeping it at Wayne? I like the atmosphere, the quaintness. Athletic Director Gary Raber does an outstanding job. What do you think? What are your thoughts on, should we move it to a bigger venue? Should we keep it here at Wayne? What's your thoughts?
I like it here. Like you mentioned, Gary Raber, the athletic director, and his staff do a tremendous job putting this thing on. There's been talk about maybe if they ever built that downtown arena, this would be an event that they would have downtown. It's great for the casual fan, but stacking this gym and like tonight will be a standing room only crowd. You won't be able to get that in a 4,000 or 5,000 seat arena.
No
so it's a phenomenal atmosphere. They do a great job hosting the thing out here. Maybe they rotate it between a couple places, but Wayne's got it locked down. They've done a tremendous job hosting the thing. And the one thing I do want to see, though, and we saw it today, playing that finals game at 4 o'clock on a work day, no less. I mean, the crowd, granted, girls are not going to draw as well as the boys. It's straight up, that's the case.
Right.
But if you play that game before the boys, maybe play a 6 and an 8, like we did back in the day when we played the semifinals and the finals on the same day, then you have a bigger crowd and bigger atmosphere.
Right.
I know what they're doing. They're trying to get 2 gates. I get it. It's all about the Benjamins. But at the same time, you can't replicate this kind of crowd that we're getting for the boys' game on a 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday for the girls.
And the SAC gets it. I mean, they went back to the double headers now on Friday nights with the girls opening up and the boys. It gives it a better environment to showcase the girls on Friday. They put them back to back. So you get a better crowd. So I definitely see your point. Looking at tonight, though, these Homestead Spartans, the team chemistry is outstanding. Jack Ferguson, coming out party. If you didn't know his name, you do after last night. The kid is outstanding players. He's a stat stuffing machine. With him, Parker Mangus, and Brandon Durnell, the TPE products from Chase Sanders, a Homestead alumni. What are they going to need to do to keep Keon Brooks and Jalen Buds, number one, off the glass, because the size advantage is tremendous for the Legends? Yeah,
definitely. You said it, Jack Ferguson dropped 5 for 5 from 3 last night, was just phenomenal against Snyder. And we're going to see, I think, Homestead sit in that zone, collapse inside, take things away from Jalen Buds as much as possible, and make North beat them on the perimeter. North can be very good from the outside shooting, and they can be very bad outside shooting. Which Northside team shows up? So I think early, if Juan Quarles is hitting shots, if Elijah Long, Elijah Holmes are hitting shots for North from the outside, that's a good thing. And I think offensively, if you're Homestead, I think while they were going to stay in the half court, they don't want to speed things up.
Right.
I think they attack Jalen Butts, try to get a couple early fouls on him, put him on the bench, because that's going to open a lot of things up inside for Homestead. And also head fakes. Northside really likes to go for those blocks, leave their feet. Watch Homestead utilize a lot of head fakes, Brandon Ernell in particular inside, get North up in the air and then go up for shots and draw fouls and get to the free throw line, where Homestead will have a decided advantage. Northside shoots about 65% from the line. Homestead hovering around 80%. So that will be another key for Homestead if they're going to pull the win off tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, they have the right coach in place. Head coach Chris Johnson in his 18th year at the school, 277 wins, 128 losses. Started his career at Bishop Dwenger, made a run there. That was before the separation of classes. But outstanding coach. He prepares his kids better than about anyone. Do you think they're going to come out boxing one, or do you think they'll go straight into the 2-3? What's your thoughts on that?
I think they sit in the 2-3 and see how that goes, see how Northside's shooting, and maybe they mix some things up if Northside is indeed hitting some shots on the outside. But, it's interesting. Third game in 3 days for these two teams, and we say, these teams, these kids play a lot of games in the summer, AAU and summer league events, but this is unlike AAU. Look at the crowd. You're going to feed to the emotions. And let's be honest, in AAU basketball, you're not playing much defense.
Right.
So you can relax on defense. If you relax on defense, if you play an AAU defense, either of these teams, you're going to lose by 25. So this will be the third intense game for each of these teams. Homestead goes about 7 deep. Northside goes about 7 deep. Homestead only played 6 kids last night. So is fatigue a factor for either of these teams? I think that's a thing to watch. Yeah, they're young kids. They play a lot of basketball, but they've had an intense road, both of these teams, to get to tonight's game. So we'll see how both teams' legs are early in the game.
Awesome. Good insight, Justin. As always, Justin Kinney from the News Sentinel. He'll be with us throughout the broadcast. About 2.5 minutes left here in the pregame. Before we get set, let's hear a quick word Today's broadcast, of course, brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports. Like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, hit that follow on Facebook so you'll be notified of all of our activities as they happen. None of this would be possible without Parkview Sports Medicine and, of course, Sports Center, Inc., who is Fort Wayne's premier sporting goods dealer offering equipment rental, embroidery, and screen printing. Sports Center is ready and willing to help you place orders and or answer any questions concerning pricing. Sports Center, Inc. is located at 5511 Coventry Lane, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46804. And as you know, SummitCitySports.com proud to partner with the News Sentinel, Allen County's oldest continuous operating business, bringing you the most comprehensive high school athletics coverage in the area. The News Sentinel is available for delivery 6 times a week in Allen County and always online at www.news-sentinel.com. Well, both roads for these squads. The number 1 seed Northside and number 2 seed Homestead, both with the opening round bye. Northside defeated number 8 seeded Northrop 71-61 to move on to play the Bishop Lures Knights last night at 6:30 p.m. They're the number 5th seed. They destroyed Lures 70-54. Keon Brooks was all over the place. Jalen Butts, it seemed like he spent half the game with his hands on the backboard. They moved on and they sit here in the championship for Homestead. They had a tough one to start in their second round. They had a bye in the opener. They defeated the host school, the Wayne Generals. The coming out party for sophomore Craig Young for Wayne. Off the top of my head, I believe he had 28-29 points. That really showed his moxie, but Homestead got the dub and moved on to play Snyder, and probably the best game of the tournament last night. They defeated the Snyder Panthers 64-59 to move on to play these Northside legends here, 8:15 tip. They're trying to pack them in here, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready for one of the best exciting atmospheres that you will come across in the state of Indiana and maybe the country in high school basketball. So now let's send you down to the wonderful PA announcer here at Wayne High School.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Principal John Hauser and Athletic Director Gary Rayburn from host Wayne High, we wish to extend to all of you a warm welcome to the annual Parkview Sports Medicine Summit Athletic Conference Basketball Tournament, and to thank you for your continued fine support of high school athletics in Fort Wayne. Now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for the playing of our national anthem? Parker Mangus. Freshman, 6 foot, number 22, Jake Archbold. Junior, 6'5", number 32, Sam Buck. And rounding out the lineup for the Spartans, senior, 6'6", number 42, Brandon Durnell. The Spartans are coached by Mr. Chris Johnson. And now for the home team on the scoreboard, the Northside Legends. One starter, senior, 6'11", number 1, Jalen Buck. Senior, 5'9", number 3, Elijah Holmes. Senior, 6'2", number 10, Brandon Johnson. Sophomore, 6'8", number 12, Gian Rule. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Legends, senior, 6'2", number 13, Juan Quarles.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. SummitCitySports.com is live from Wayne High School. This is game number 18 of 18 here, brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Jeff Mahoney on the camera all tournament long. I've been calling your play-by-play. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else, ladies and gentlemen. We do it because we love it. Give shine to these outstanding student athletes in the Summit Athletic Conference, Fort Wayne, Indiana, and the surrounding area. Starting lineups for both squads. For Homestead, Brandon Durnell, Jack Ferguson, Jake Archbold, Sam Buck, and Parker Mangus. For the Northside Legends, number 3, Elijah Holmes, Juan Quarles, Brandon Johnson, Jalen Butts, and Keon Brooks Jr. We do play 4 8-minute quarters here in the state of Indiana. They're going to go down low, and Butts with the first bucket to zip Homestead with the deficit first here. Ferguson brings it up. They're going to put Brandon Johnson on him, the ultra-athletic wing. Keon Brooks on Brandon Durnell, Quarles on Mangus. And you talked about it, Justin. You want Durnell to go down low as a rebound by Archbold. 7.5 on the clock.
Yeah, first possession for Northside, they go inside to Jalen Butts, which is something they didn't do yesterday. The first half against Bishop Lewis struggled to get Butts involved. First possession, go right to the big guy up, right in the paint.
Yeah, Jalen Butts, he's committed to DePaul University in Chicago. He will head there next year to continue his basketball career. For Keon Brooks Jr. with the ball right there, passing it near side. This guy is the limit, can go about anywhere. He's being recruited by everyone. Juan Quarles, no on the 3. And when he's on, Northside is about the toughest team to beat in the state. Now they get some outside shooting from a third guard. Durnell, 3 ball, that's off wide. Definitely bothered by Brooks Jr. Archbold, the freshman. Parker Mangus, short on that 3. And Brooks with the board and then the jump. We will stay with Homestead on the possession arrow. 6:42 in this first. SummitCitySports.com is live. Ferguson will look to inbound underneath his own basket. Durnell pops out. Archbold. Mangus. Archbold, they'll swing at Ferguson. You can't leave him open. Yep. Justin, he starts out the game where he left off last night, dropping the 3 and gets the lead for Homestead. 3-2 your score. Brandon Johnson, dribble drive in the paint, a little cheapie called on Jake Archbold. That is his first, team's first. You
give Ferguson an inch, and the kid's got no range, really. I mean, he can hit from anywhere. 5 for 5 for 3 last night, already 1 for 1 tonight.
He's outstanding and has improved his explosiveness on his jump as well. Watch how fast his twitch muscles are. They're outstanding. Juan Quarles, good pump fake. Threw it low. He'll pick it back up, though. Will Holmes. Holmes, good crossover. Quarles. Sam Buck on a man-to-man defense here. They'll let Butt shoot that. You don't want to give them that much space, though, for a running start, as I'm sure they'll make the adjustment. Durnell was nearly playing a foot in front of the basket as Jalen Butts has all 4 now for Northside. 5:52 on the clock here in this first quarter. This is the championship game of the boys SAC Holiday Tournament. Durnell, he uses his strength right there, Justin, and finishes through Keon Brooks' attempted block.
Definitely got a quick first step and beat Keon Brooks in the front.
Mangus on this side is on Brooks. Butts, that's not his strength. Rebounded though by Northside. Holmes, Quarles. Sam Buck late on the rotation. Easy floater for Juan Quarles. Back with the lead are the Northside Legends. 5:14 on the first. Brandon Johnson harassing Jack Ferguson. Ferguson still uncommitted. Universities, where you at? Lock up the kid. He's an outstanding player. Great size for a point guard. And oh yeah, he can shoot the ball. He is what, that's 7 for his last 7, Justin?
Kid's incredible.
3 ball for Jack Ferguson, his second of the game. 8-6 your score. Oohs and ahs here at the crowd. Juan Quarles, what a take. Went opposite side, laid it off the glass for the bucket. Juan Quarles pulls even with the Spartans. All starting 10 on your floor here. Subs getting ready to check in. Mangus, they swing at Sam Buck. He can hit that 3 ball. No good, and look at Jalen Butts. The kid rebounds eye level as that one's knocked away. Parker Mangus getting back at his head coach, Chris Johnson, for all those yells and sprints and what have you. As Chris Johnson took one right off the noggin there, Justin.
Look at that, not even a hair out of place.
4:21 on the clock, 8-8 your score. Keon Brooks. Devontae Kinney in the game for the first time. He is an outstanding defender, one-on-one defender. He's a ball hawk, ladies and gentlemen. Will pick the pocket of the best dribblers in the city. That time he lost it. Parker Mangus comes up with the steal. Right hand, can't get it to go. Battle for the board. Raber comes down and just checked in. Here's Durnell, finds Mangus. Ferguson! Heat check there.
Shocking, he missed one.
That one was from the parking lot, Justin. As Butts with the huge rebound. He is so special rebounding the ball. He just attacks the glass like he's going to go jam it every time. He is so special rebounding, and that will definitely translate to the next level. That one helped in by the bystander on the sideline. Jalen Butts trying to go to work, somehow got it through to Kinney, lost the ball. Mangus comes up with another one. Here's Ferguson, numbers for Homestead, 3-on-2. And that should be a block. Ooh, wow. Offensive call. Looked like Ferguson made a nice slither move to avoid the charge. Not according to the official, as we'll go the other way. Jack Ferguson, that is his first.
That has to be a player control foul because he sure as heck wasn't set.
There ain't no doubt about it. Kinney, he'll bring it up with Quarles, Butts, Brooks, and Holmes. Brooks on the wing, up top, Butts. They swing at Holmes, Quarles in the corner. Jake Archbold, the talented freshman. He's an outstanding football player for head coach Chad Zolman. Knocked away from Brooks, but he'll turn around, 17-foot jumper is buckets.
They're tripling down on Brooks, tripling down on Butts when they touch the ball inside the arc.
Homestead down 2, 10-8, 2:53 on the clock. Shakes on the defender, and Ferguson back rim, no good, comes right back to him. And a foul on Kinney. That will be the first team foul on Northside. First on Devontae Kinney.
That's about 4 offensive rebounds now for Homestead in this first quarter, getting a lot of second, third opportunities.
That is not a good sign for Northside, and you don't see very often because they rebound the ball at an exceptional rate. Now Durnell up top, he'll hand to Archbold. Leaves it for Ferguson. To be honest, I don't think Ferguson needs a screen that far out. Ferguson all the way to the cup and lays it in with the finger roll. Jack Ferguson, are you kidding me? 8 points of his team's 10, 2.5 left in the first. Butts, he'll rise up from 17. Can't get the roll. Good board by Quarles. Right now, Quarles is handling the freshman, Jake Archbold. 12-10, 2:10 on the clock. Ferguson's gonna back in Kinney, right-handed jump hook, no good. Jalen Butts, what a board. 12-10, 2 minutes. Kinney's fouled by Raber. I believe they're going to call that on the floor.
That foul on Brent Raver.
So Raver, that is his first, team's fourth. In for the first time, Elijah Long. Checking out is Elijah Holmes. Of course, Northside coached by head coach Shabazz Khalik in his seventh year at the school, 108-42. But that's an offensive foul. I think referee on the baseline saw that shoulder dip, and that led him to the charge call.
Foul on Jaden Butts, player control.
Player control foul on Butts is the precise call, 12-10. We're under 2 minutes in the first. Full court pressure from Northside, little token pressure. Minute 45 on the clock. 12-10. Jake Archbold. Kinney, nice job fronting on Ferguson. Burnell down low, goes to the drop step, up and blocked. That's off the glass. How do you not call a?
That was a goaltend all the way.
You can't even confuse that with anything. It hit the glass and started coming down. But takes the hit and finishes. 4-point lead now for the Legends. Butts with 6 early. Averages 16 a game. Ferguson loses it for a second and stolen by Butts. We may have showtime. Jalen Butts with the bucket and feeds on the crowd. Biggest lead for Northside. 16-10, we're under a minute. Raber, free, can't answer. Brooks with the board. Outlet to Quarles. Quarles gonna take it all the way in, and that should be another charge. A block called.
Really?
I think the referee decided as he was hopping towards the
He felt he'd already called two. I mean, that was the most blatant player control foul of the 3. We've seen 2 of them called, and that's the one that's not called.
It's amazing. We've seen some doozies here in the tournament. 49.2 seconds left, 16-10. Listen to the crowd in here.
And that's Jack Ferguson's second foul, so that's huge.
Big call against Ferguson. The offensive standout for the Spartans runs the show. The point guard, Quarles, 1 out of 2. Now with 3 points, 17-10. No call. Archbold back cut by Raber, didn't get it to him. Archbold will go all the way in, reverse. Jake Archbold showing you the skill. He's a talented freshman. 17-12, 22 seconds on the clock.
Big time bucket toward the end of the quarter to kind of stymie the momentum here for Northside.
Yeah, momentum was strictly on, squarely on the Northside Legends. Trying to get it to Kinney, and that's an offensive foul. Backed right in, handed off, and it's the same official calling all of them here.
That's his second.
The crowd has handed it to him. So 2 on Butts, 2 on Ferguson.
And that hurts Northside much more because now Butts has to go to the bench for the majority of the second quarter, you have to think. Huge call.
And that leaves Brooks as the lone big guy on the floor. So you have Kinney, Long, Quarles, Johnson, and Keon Brooks Jr. 17-12, 5 seconds. Ferguson, crossover, 3 ball. Couldn't get it to go. Raber, good if it goes, no good. So at the end of one, an exciting quarter, of course. Just what we expected. 17-12, your score. SummitCitySports.com is live.
They've got you covered. Regardless of your age or level of play, Parkview Sports Medicine is dedicated to maximizing your athlete's performance through innovative technology and advanced care. Visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more.
Welcome back, Indiana High School basketball fans. Justin Kinney from the News Sentinel join us in the booth. Tim Atkinson calling your play-by-play. Jeff Mahoney on the camera. Summit City Sports. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports. Like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Right now, the Northside Legends, led by Jalen Butts, but who is on the bench with 2 personal fouls.
And here's what I don't like, Tim. We just watched the first quarter that the story in the first quarter was the officials. And this should be a game between two really good basketball teams. And right now, one official in particular is dictating the pace and who is in this game and who has foul trouble.
Yeah, when you're paying attention to an official, that means they're blowing the whistle way, way too much or just flat out making some wrong calls. 7:50 on the clock here in the second. Backed in did Johnson, finds Quarles, pump fake. Good recovery defensively, and then the foul. I think Buck will pick up that personal.
His first, team six.
Inbound, Quarles, look for Kinney on the inbounds.
This needs to be Keon Brooks' time. He's shot one shot through about 8 minutes and 29 seconds, 19 seconds. With Jalen Butts on the bench, he needs to step up for Northside.
Butts, as you mentioned, Justin, on the bench with two. Ferguson playing with two fouls. That's on Sam. That foul was on Sam Buck. That last one, his first. 16 fouls on Homestead, 3 on the Legends. Inbound Quarles. Finds Long, who hands to Kinney.
Northside wanting to work clock with Butts on the bench.
Loose ball. Who's going to come up with it? Out of bounds. And Homestead will have it. 7:24 on the clock, down by 5.
I got him for 8 points.
Homestead full court pressure, nearly stolen. Steal. I tell you, Devontae Kinney can rip it with the best of them. Misses it. Brooks with the putback, no good. Durnell comes down with the board. Sam Buck thought about rising up. 17-12, 7 minutes on the clock here left in this first half. Raber finds Buck, good inside out, and led to the triple. Sam Buck hits the 3, pulls his squad within 2. Sam Buck, the junior, 6'5". They will rely on him heavily next year with the trio of seniors headed on to the college level. Brooks up top. Brandon Johnson. 6.5 on the clock. Johnson near side. 3 ball. Long. Can't get it to go. Durnell with another board. Here's Ferguson. Ferguson gets a screen from Durnell. Double team came from Brooks. And a blocking foul called on Keon. Fourth, that'll be the first on Keon Brooks, the 4th team foul. Into the game, number 3, Elijah Holmes to replace Elijah Long. 17-15, 6:19 on the clock. Brandon Durnell. Crossover, kicks it to Sam Buck. Jack Ferguson being guarded by Devontae Kinney. Brandon Durnell, like to see him back in Brooks, use that size and strength on Brooks. And a travel called on Brandon Durnell. Head coach Chris Johnson wants that ball to be moved a little bit more.
Brandon Durnell can get a little happy feet driving to the basket. He had a couple of those travels yesterday and gets called for another one tonight as Northside turns the ball over.
Yeah, just a lack of concentration.
Really?
And the official is going to say it went off a Homestead player, and the crowd that's sitting over there right in front of the call are having a chuckle. SummitCitySports.com. 17-15, Northside on top. They've been on top the whole game. Brooks Jr., he's going to face up on Durnell. Jumper, good. Keon Brooks with an 18-foot jumper knocks it in. Now with 4 points, 19-15, 5.5 left. Mangus, and there's a push-off. And head coach Chris Johnson, I believe, wants a timeout.
I didn't see it. I didn't see the push, but Yeah, it was just the wrong angle.
Arm was not even extended. Usually it's pretty obvious the arm, or the chicken wing as they call it, gets extended. Didn't see it on that one. But nonetheless, the foul is called. Parker Mangus, that's his second now. 30-second timeout called by head coach for Homestead, Chris Johnson. Just wants to settle it down here, and his kids, you can see they were getting frustrated there, Justin.
Yeah, and I think the key right now is Northside wants to continue to work clock with Jalen Butts on the bench. The further they can go into the second quarter feeling comfortable with their star on the bench, the better off for Northside in the long run. Homestead, I think, needs to get more aggressive, start running some more sets in the half court, get some open shots, and take this lead, because then they can get Butts back in the game, maybe have him pick up a third foul before halftime.
5:30 on the clock, 19-15 is your score. Northside enjoying the lead. Have had it all game long. This is game number 18, the final game of this 2016 SAC Holiday Tournament. Brooks wide open for three. Got it. Keon Brooks Jr. drops his first triple of the game. Now with 7 points, and that's the advantage right now for Northside. Ferguson once Buck. Luckily got it over the top. Now Mangus being guarded by Quarles. And thrown away, Johnson. They will call a foul on Brandon Johnson as Ferguson flashed. That will be the 15th foul. That's Brandon Johnson's first.
Johnson getting a little bit too aggressive there and got him with the body.
Yeah, Johnson, he can use his length. He is so long and athletic. Doesn't need to gamble on a lot of that stuff. But he did, and that led to the foul. 5:03 on the clock. Good look to Mangus, and that's I was going to call it right away, Justin, but I wanted to make sure they blew the whistle and did call the goaltending. The easiest call in basketball is when the ball hits the glass and then is swatted. My goodness, 22-17.
And again, they already missed one, so we didn't know if they were going to call it or not.
5:01 on the clock. Brandon Johnson, Devontae Kinney, Elijah Holmes, Juan Quarles, and Keon Brooks Jr., your 5 for the Legends. .450 on the clock here. They set it up. Looks like they tried to flare Brooks out there on the wing. Brandon Johnson with the take and the finish with the left hand. What a bucket on the nice dribble drive move. Brandon Johnson. 24-17. Ball lost, strip. Up to Quarles, lob. Couldn't get it up and over the rim, but Brooks was there to grab it off the loose ball. 9-point advantage for Northside. Danger right here for Sparty. 4:15 on the clock. Ferguson in the paint. Durnell, pump fake, and uses that body. Put the shoulder right into the chest of Keon Brooks, the shot blocker, and put it off glass for the bucket.
Good look by Ferguson.
Keon Brooks with the right-handed finger roll.
Exactly what he's had to do with Butts on the bench. The sophomore needs to take over. So far, he's done that in the second quarter.
He definitely has. Now with 11 points. We're 3:50 left in this first half. Back to a 9-point advantage. Durnell into Brooks. Good pump fake. You talked about it, Justin, in the opener. That pump fake by Durnell down low on the big. So tremendous.
And it's a smart thing to get Durnell the ball on the block. They know they have Brooks with one foul. If he picks up a second, he's in trouble, much like Butts is right now.
Brandon Durnell now with 6 points. He averages 15 a game, just behind Jack Ferguson's 19-9 a game. Devontae Kinney, that's an 18th foul, so the 1-1, 28-21, 3:31 to go in this first half. Great atmosphere at Wayne High School, as you would expect. Doors opened at 7, and the people started pouring in from the parking lot. As that should be a dead ball. It is. Did not hit the rim. So Devontae Kinney will head back.
Pretty solid from the free throw line, too, is Debo.
Yep.
That was missed badly.
It happens from time to time. Ferguson, 28-21, 3:25 to go. Ferguson's going to back in. Kinney wanted to go to that fadeaway, but Brooks was lurking. Archbold, baseline dribble drive, cut off by Johnson. Durnell out to Mangus. Up top, Ferguson. Good ball movement. They want to go down low. Double team comes. Somebody's open. Archbold, good cut without the ball. Double clutch blocked by Johnson, but a foul called. That will send Jake Archbold to the line. he will get a pair of free throws as Justin, looks like Coach Shabazz Khalik's going to come back here with Jalen Butts, up by 7, a little surprising.
Yeah, I think he just doesn't want to see Homestead here make a run the final 3 minutes, wants to keep this lead, but I thought that was a little bit of an anticipation call. I thought it was a clean block by Johnson.
Jake Archibald, the freshman, with the first free throw. Brandon Johnson out. Jalen Butts is in. Butts with those 2 personals. 18 fouls on Homestead, 6 against the Legends, 3:06 on the clock. Jake Archibald with his second attempt. Front rim, no good, rebounded by Brooks Jr. 3 minutes remaining in the half. 6-point edge for Northside. They are 1-1 in conference play to start the season. Of course, their only defeat on that overtime buzzer beater by Michael Barnfield from Snyder. That's their only defeat on the season. They've gone down to Indianapolis and has dominated some teams. They'll rise up from 3, no good. Brooks Jr. with the rebound. Parker Mangus knocked it off the leg of Brooks Jr. Pretty obvious. Not called that way. We'll stay with Northside. But Parker Mangus slapped down on the ball, rolled right down off the leg of Brooks Jr. And then a 30-second timeout called right here by head coach Shabazz Kalik, as they will talk about it. As at halftime, the Summit Athletic Conference and Wayne High School is going to recognize the NAIA National Champion football squad. The St. Francis Cougars went down to Dayton and Daytona, Florida, and brought home the NAIA title. Head coach Kevin Donnelly's first of his career at St. Francis. I think he's been there 17, 18 years or so at St. Francis. So congratulations to head coach Kevin Donnelly, his staff, and all the players as they will be recognized here at halftime of this championship game. 2:35 on the clock, 28-22 your score. Inbound to Butts, and that's just too easy on an inbound play. Butts unimpeded to the bucket, puts it in. So he checks in and then drops a bucket now with 10 points.
If I'm Homestead, I'm going to the basket every single time trying to get that third on Butts. Very dangerous situation right now with Butts with 2 fouls.
Yeah, a lot of their offense here in the first half is starting so far out away from that 3-point line. That's always a huge part of a defensive game plan. If you can have the offensive team start their offense farther out than they're comfortable with, they can throw off all kinds of timing and spacing.
And Homestead just 3 of 9 from 3 so far this half.
Under 2 minutes left in the half. Homestead down by 8. Homestead undefeated, yet to lose on the season. They have played a tough schedule. They have beaten Huntington North, Warsaw, Marion, at Marion. They've had a tough schedule and have won every. Archibald, they need it. Back rim, no good. Ferguson with the board. Knocked away by Quarles, kicks back out Parker Menges. And cold is Homestead here to start this game. The final, not a good time to go cold from beyond the arc, Justin.
Yeah, now 3 of 11 from 3, and we talked about this third game in 3 days. How are these kids' legs? And it looks like just Homestead missing that little spring in their step right now.
So 1:31 on the clock, 30-22, and Northside enjoying an 8-point edge.
If I'm Shabazz Kalik, I'm getting Jalen Butts out of the game right now. You got a minute and a half left of the half. You have an 8-point lead. Anything can happen. If he picks up a crazy third foul here late in the first half, it could be devastating.
Yeah, that's when you start looking at, as the fans, like, what are you doing? Durnell. That was a heads-up play. That was a heads-up play by Brandon Durnell. He could have took the open shot. Instead, he attacked the basket, drew the defense, and kicked it in the corner to wide-open Buck. Sam Buck with the 3. It's a 30-25.
Big-time shot to cut the lead to 5 here.
And that is Sam Buck's 6-point, his second 3. Brooks and Butts run a weave. Now they're going to go Butts here, just inside the 3-point arc. Durnell will back off. Skip pass. Look down low. Butts with the right-handed jump hook. They cannot stop him right now. 32-25. Jalen Butts with 12 points and a foul on Kinney.
On 6 of 7 shooting from the field.
29.7 seconds remaining in the half. 32-25 your score. That is the second on Devontae Kinney, the 17th foul. Parker Mangus will head to the line for the 1 and bonus. Mangus right now being held at 2 points. He averages nearly 15 a game as he connects on the front end. We'll get the second opportunity. 32-26, 29.7 seconds remaining. No shot clock in the state of Indiana. And knocks it down, does Parker Mangus, to pull his squad back within 5. 27 seconds on the clock. Here's Butts. Northside will look for the last shot, I would assume. Nope, they're gonna take it. Can't get it to go, and that's could cost them here. 17 seconds. Archbold nearside Mangus, 14 seconds. And a timeout called by head coach Chris Johnson. He wants to talk about this last possession because this will be huge. They could cut this to a 2-point game or a 3, depending on the outcome here, which after the way the half they played and the bad shooting, they'll feel pretty good going into the break.
Yeah, they were down as many as 9, and they cut back into the lead with Jack Ferguson on the bench. Ferguson checks back in. Of course, a 3 from Ferguson or Mangus or anybody right now would be huge going into the break.
Brandon Johnson's going to check back in out of this timeout. 30-second variety. Head coach Chris Johnson is going to go over last-minute instructions with his Homestead Spartans. Not used to seeing them this disjointed on the offensive end. Just kind of disconnected with each other. Can't imagine that happening for another 16 minutes in that second half, but we still have 12.3 left in this one, 32-27. 18 fouls for Homestead, 7 for the Legends. Inbound Mangus, 10 seconds on the clock. Guarded by Quarles. Mangus all the way, pull up, no good. Outlet, Brooks, he has time, 1 second, and knocked away by Mangus. Smart move. The hustle by Parker Mangus to save the easy bucket. So they will go into halftime with your score, 32-27. The number 1 seeded Northside Legends on top of the number 2 seeded Homestead Spartans. SummitCitySports.com is live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports. Like and follow our Facebook page, Summit City Sports. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Right now, the University of St. Francis Cougs, they are heading out on the floor, led by head coach Kevin Donnelly, the NAIA national champion. St. Francis Cougars as our owner, Jeff Mahoney of SummitCitySports.com, will head down to the PA announcer to announce these players here for St. Francis and the national champions. While we wait on that, we'll bring in Dan Vance from the News Sentinel. Dan, good first half for Northside, slow one for Homestead. Very, very poor shooting for Homestead from deep. What'd you see there in that first half?
Well, yeah, Homestead's got to be definitely more aggressive out there than they were in the first half, especially after Ferguson picked up his second foul. They kind of got timid there. A surprise for me was that Northside didn't attack Ferguson when they had the opportunity. They sat butt so he wouldn't pick up that third foul for them, and they took the ball away from Ferguson. I think Coach Chris Johnson intentionally put Ferguson out there on someone that he knows is not a shooter for Northside. He was guarding Elijah Holmes a lot of the time. But you got to attack that. You got a kid like Ferguson who's such a game changer, and he has 2 fouls in the first half, and they leave him on the court. You got to attack him. And so not attacking him might be a mistake because, as we saw at the beginning, if Ferguson gets hot, it's showtime for Homestead, and it's so close of a game that you can't allow Ferguson to get hot and stay in this game.
Yeah, I mean, he can drop 30 on you in a second. There's no doubt about that. Jack Ferguson, such an explosive player right now with 8 points, but about 7 minutes here to go in the halftime break. Northside up by, what we got here, 5 points. That's for the title. Northside looking for their 4th straight SAC title. What do you think differently Homestead needs to do here? I mean, obviously besides making the baskets, but what else does Homestead need to do here to get back in this?
I think they need to attack more. They settled for the three-point shot a lot there, and like you said, it wasn't falling. You know, Sam Buck hit a couple of good ones, but you got Jake Archbold. He's not an outside shooter. He's settling. Parker Mangus is settling for some shots, where if you get Mangus driving to the basket, you can possibly get Butts or Brooks into foul trouble. Mangus is going to hit his free throws nearly every time, if not every time he's up there. And the same thing with Ferguson. Ferguson got timid. He got called for a charge down here. Maybe an iffy call, maybe not. But he got timid there because he didn't want to attack and get a third foul. So right now, Homestead has got to take the ball to the basket. And I think defensively, they just got to stand their ground. Jalen Butts is going to score down low on Brandon Durnell, so they have to let that happen.
Well, thanks as always, Dan, for joining us here at halftime. We're going to throw it down here to our owner, SummitCitySports.com, also runs the St. Francis videography program. They will bring out and introduce some of the St. Francis Cougars who are NAIA national champions. We'll throw it down to Jeff Mahoney.
Leading the way first is our head coach, Kevin Donnelly, who in 1997 started the program there at the University of St. Francis. It was 25 years to the day that Coach won his first national title at Georgetown College, where he won his second, bringing a national championship here in the Fort Wayne community. So Kevin Donnelly, everybody down here on the baseline. Okay, well, right with Coach is our starting free safety. That's Jarrell Holman. Jarrell was a standout football and track athlete at Northrop High School. We had two starters in our defensive backfield from Northrop High School. The other one was Spencer Coward. You folks might remember Spencer. Now, he's only a junior. He's got another year to come back and play, but Spencer also played basketball at Northrop, played in this exact same tournament. Coming up next is Deontay Walker. Deontay, a standout linebacker for the Cougars, is a Southside High School graduate. Next up is Mr. Intangible, that's Charles Gaston. You might know him as Chuck. Chuck does a little bit of everything for the Cougars. Most importantly, he gets the team hype, a big reason why St. Francis won a national championship. He's from Bishop Lewis High School. Josh Spitnow. Josh was a three-sport athlete at Snyder High School, starting punter for the national championship team. Shatan Harris, a quarterback, also played at Southside High School, one of three players from Southside. Coach Eddie Nolan coached him with the track team at Southside. Another Southside player is Cameron Shackelford. Shaq, a starting defensive end. Folks, we were in Daytona and Shaq took on the Baker team in a dance-off and won, hands down. So the best dancer at Daytona Beach. Up next is Ryan Nix. Ryan, all-conference punt or a kicker for the Cougars from Valparaiso, Indiana. He's a senior, Ryan Nix. Up next is the offensive player of the game in the national championship win over Baker and Seth Coe. Folks, it was just a few years ago when Seth was blocking shots as a member of Homestead with their basketball team. He's looking to continue playing. He's going to team up with hopefully Zach Terrell, who's another Homestead graduate. Lucas Sparks, the defensive player of the game in the championship. He's from Shawnee, Ohio, which is nearby. Another huge reason. He was the MSFA Defensive Player of the Year this year as well. Another Northrop player is Tristan Douglas. Tristan's a linebacker, played linebacker for the Bruins as well. Folks, this guy won a state championship last year, a national championship this year, so he's doing pretty good. It's Landon Myers. There's an offensive lineman, played for the Bishop Dwayne Saints, and he's going to have a great career here at St. Francis. And our six-year senior, the man that kept it all together, Hakeem Telslaw. An injury could have ended few more coaches. Coach Joe Didier, he played football at Homestead. He was a coach at Homestead as well. Coach Eddie Nolan, who is also the track and field coach at Southside High School. And of course, Coach Doug Coe, the father of Seth Coe, running backs coach, a great one. So folks, once again, the 2016 National Championship, University of St. Francis Cougars.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen, the NAIA National Championship, St. Francis Cougars. What a story there for head coach Kevin Donnelly and company. The first ever title for St. Francis. Congratulations. Outstanding job and season from St. Francis. 3:40 left here in the halftime break. 32-27 is our halftime score. Jalen Butts leading all scorers with 12. 2 fouls. Ferguson also has 2 apiece. We'll take a short break here as we get closer to the second half. SummitCitySports.com is live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. SummitCitySports.com. One more look at the Kevin Donnelly-led national champion St. Francis Cougars, NAIA champions, defeated Baker down in Daytona. Outstanding year for the Cougs. Only 1 defeat on the season to their arch rival Marion, but it's all about the championships. And this year, the Cougs took it home. Well, today's broadcast and all of the Summit Athletic Conference Holiday Basketball Tournament broadcasted by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports. Like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also want to give a big thanks. Big thanks to Parkview Sports Medicine and Sports Center, Inc. Sports Center Inc. is Fort Wayne's premier sporting goods dealer offering equipment rental, embroidery, and screen printing. Sports Center is ready and willing to help you place orders and or answer any questions concerning pricing. Sports Center Inc. is located at 5511 Coventry Lane, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46804. So just about a minute away here, Justin. We'll bring Justin Kinney back in from the News Sentinel. 5-point deficit for Homestead. Obviously, this game is not over. Plenty of time. What kind of adjustments you expect for head coach Chris Johnson to make out of the break?
Well, you got to think Homestead shoots a little bit better in the second half. 4 of 12 from 3. They were so good last night against Snyder from long range. Jack Ferguson, while he does have 8 points, is just 2 of 5 from 3. You look at Northside, Butts and Brooks have combined 23 points on 11 of 14 shooting. You got to feed the beast. Those two need to continue to lead Northside, but they're going to need a couple other guys hit some big shots. And if this game stays close throughout, free throws. Straight up, Northside cannot hit them. Homestead can hit them. So if this game comes down to late free throws, I like Homestead's chances.
Yeah, if it's a free throw contest, Ferguson, Mangus and Durnell and company, they will flat out shoot it. Ferguson shoots at 84% from the charity stripe, and Mangus 74, and they do the majority of the ball handling to put themselves in position to pick up fouls and head to the line. So 2 more quarters of game action left here in this championship game of the 2016 Parkview Sports Medicine Summit Athletic Conference Holiday Tournament. Homestead will start with possession to start the half. Down by 5. And we are set. Starting five for both squads on the floor. Durnell, Buck, Mangus, Ferguson, and Archbold. Your five for Homestead. For Northside, Brooks, Quarles, Butts, Johnson, and number 3, Elijah Holmes. Down low, Durnell. Tried to find Ferguson, picked off by Quarles. No numbers. He finds Brooks Jr. right into the 3 ball. No good. Jake Archbold does get the board. (32-27), 7:15 on the clock. Mangus is just going to pull up and hits it. 3 ball for Parker Mangus, and just like that, Justin, pull within 2.
That's what Homestead needs to get hot from the outside. Mangus hits his first of the game.
They definitely have the players to do it. Can't answer, can Johnson, rebounded by Ferguson. We're under 7 minutes left in the third.
2 missed 3-pointers out of the break for Northside.
You like to see them go down low to start that half, but settling right now for those jump shots. Good dribble drive out to the wing, and Parker Mangus gets the first lead for Homestead, 33-32.
Homestead hot, Northside not to start the third.
Jake Archbold did a good job coming over to help on that, and that's what you want to do, force it. And Durnell will pick up a foul, loose ball foul on the rebound. That will be Brandon Durnell's team's first.
Northside now 1 of 8 from 3-point land.
They're calling that on the floor. It was a pretty obvious shooting motion from Brooks. That's what head coach Shabazz Khalik is going over right now with the official. Dumbfounded with the call. Had several of those here tonight. Brooks Jr. looks to inbound, lobs it to Butts. Durnell did a good job just staying strong, no reaching, hands high, stay strong. Ferguson. You can kind of feel that Ferguson's going to try to start taking the game over, Justin.
He wants a shot. He wants to join the fun.
Durnell, tough catch. Backs in Brooks. Left-handed jump hook. Can't get it to go. Brooks Jr. with the board. 6 minutes on the clock. 33-32. Homestead had joined their first lead of the ball game. Brooks Jr. to Butts, and that's a travel. Sam Buck did a good job on the defensive rotation to help. That caused the shuffling of the feet. Good team defense from Homestead.
Jalen Butts didn't expect Sam Buck to be there, and he kind of was flustered a little bit, forced the turnover.
Jake Archbold will bring it up. So they're taking some of the workload off of Ferguson here, maybe to keep him fresh throughout the remaining of this second half. Down to Durnell. You can see the game plan here for Coach Johnson. Brandon Durnell, jump hook, no good. He's not going to miss many of those, though, from point-blank range. Quarles. Buck did a good job getting back and just altering the shot. I like the no call as well by the officials. Mangus, they leave him.
Again.
Woo. Bailed out. Luckily, here's Keon Brooks. Keon Brooks Jr., the highlight reel. Up by 1 now is Northside. Brooks Jr., first bucket of the second half, now has 13. Butts may have got a piece of that. If not, he definitely altered. 34-33, 4:50 on the clock. Ferguson, good hands, but Johnson comes with it. Hung in the air and goes glass. So athletic, Justin, is Brandon Johnson.
Homestead makes a run, takes the lead. Now Northside makes a little run, takes the 3-point lead back.
Brandon Johnson, one of those Mr. Intangibles that we see in the Summit Athletic Conference. Beautiful dribble drive by Mangus into the right-handed floater.
Mangus is feeling it right now. If I'm Homestead, I'm setting up some sets to give number 20 the ball.
Parker Mangus now with 12 points. Butts down low, spin move baseline. Archbold came over, knocked it away. Johnson skied and put it off glass for the bucket. 38-35, your score. Northside Legends on top. Back in fourth quarter here. 4 minutes left in the third. Parker Mangus. Ferguson in the corner. 3 ball. Got it and one.
You knew he
Ties
wanted a
it
shot.
up. Beautiful job by Jack Ferguson. You can see it coming out of the break. He had that look in his eye. Pulls up from 3 in the corner, and Johnson fouls him. He'll head to the line for that rare 4-point opportunity.
At the line shooting 1 free throw, Jack Ferguson.
Ferguson was just itching to get a touch, and he got it at the corner and drained the 3.
Now with 11 points for Ferguson, and knocks it down. Converts on the 4-point play. Up by 1. That 1 now is Sparty. 39-38, 3:45 remaining in this third quarter. Kinney, Johnson, Quarles, Butts, and Brooks, your 5 for Northside. Brooks Jr. up top, good swing to Kinney. Look for the lob, the Butts. Jalen Butts with the jam on the lob from Kinney. Back the lead to Northside, 40-39, as Butts picks up his 14th point of the game, and the 1-point edge for the Legends. Nearly a 5-second clock. Archbold finally attacked. Durnell, tough catch, and the jump hook. The kid is so calm. Brandon Durnell puts up the jump hook and gets the lead back for his Sparty.
Back and forth we go.
41-40, 3 minutes on the clock. For the lob for Brooks, and then a foul on Durnell. That'll be his second and the team's second.
Now, if you're going up for the alley-oop, is it a shooting foul? I think that's what the officials are talking about right now.
In my opinion, it is. It's definitely a judgment call, Kenny, but yeah, I mean, and they're saying before on that one. So 2 on Durnell.
I guess the question is if the foul comes before the catch or after the catch, and it was definitely before.
No question, no question. SummitCitySports.com live from Wayne High School. All 18 games of the holiday tournament brought to you live by Summit City Sports. 2:45 on the clock, left in the third. They want Brooks off a couple screens. Knocked away, finger roll layup, no good. And rebounded by Jack Ferguson. Buck, Durnell, Mangus had Johnson on his hip, but Durnell didn't have the angle from this wing to feed that post. Buck gets a screen from Mangus. Quarles stays with him. Now to Parker. Up top, Grant Raber, excuse me. Talk about his dad there for a second. Ferguson skips it. For Durnell, 17, got it. Brandon Durnell with the jumper to put his Spartans up by 3, 43-40. 2 minutes remaining in this third quarter.
And Homestead is just simply out-executing Northside right now. A lot of standing around offensively for Northside.
Nice pull-up from the right elbow from Brandon Johnson. He knocks it home, his 8th point of the game. Grant Raber, he'll bring it up. Jalen Butts is on him. Jack Ferguson, no good. Quarles with the board, spins out of traffic. He's out on the break. Numbers, 3-on-2. Quarles all the way up and in. Juan Quarles, good take coast to coast to pull his squad within 1:25 left in the third. They're looking for Mangus off a couple screens. Now downloaded Durnell. Double team comes from Butts and blocked. Keon Brooks Jr. A beautiful defensive play, stayed right on the hip of Brandon Durnell and swatted out of bounds, but we'll stay with Sparty. 1:14 on the clock, they're down 1. 44-43. No good for Raber, rebounded by Brooks Jr. Outlet Kinney, barely tracks it down. Now baseline dribble drive blocked by Durnell. What a block by Brandon Durnell. Two-handed block, basically grabbed it out of the reach of the offensive. Buck, wide open 3 in the corner. Can't get it to go. Jalen Butts skies for the ball, and a jump ball called.
Foul.
Oh, foul called by the baseline official. That's 3 on Durnell. That's a big call.
Brandon Durnell.
That's also the team's third.
His third. Team's third.
Look at Brendan Ernell just breathing hard. We talked about these two teams, not a lot of depth. They don't go more than 7 deep. These kids are feeling it. Third game in 3 days. Who's going to suck it up in this final 8 minutes after the end of this quarter?
Dribble drive, left-handed lay-in by Kinney. Got the spin. Now up by 3 are the Legends. 28 seconds on the clock left in the third. That was Devontae Kinney's first bucket. 3-point edge for the Legends. Butts is going to back off Raber. Smart. 16 seconds on the clock. Raber should be able to go right by Butts. Instead goes to Durnell. I'd like to see Raber get the ball and go right by. 6 seconds. Screen for Menges. Looks for Buck. Floater. That was a tough look and a wasted possession to end the quarter, which we will go into the fourth with your score. The Northside Legends on top of the Homestead Spartans, 46-43. We'll take a break and join you for the fourth quarter.
Those teenagers who have parents that have brought them to the basketball game, get on your cell phones and call them up now. We will not be waiting around at the end of the game. Call your rides up. Pronto.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. SummitCitySports.com coming to you live from Wayne High School, Fort Wayne, Indiana, site of the 2016 Parkview Sports Medicine Summit Athletic Conference Holiday Basketball Tournament. The number 1 seed Homestead Lady Spartans took the girls' championship this afternoon with a 4 p.m. tip, defeating the number 3 seed Carroll Lady Chargers to win their second in a row holiday tournaments in their 2 years in the Summit Athletic Conference. But we have 8 minutes remaining here in the boys' final, 46-43. Northside on top. Juan Quarles goes right by Archbold, leaves it to Butts, and off the fingertips of Jalen Butts, out of bounds.
Empty possessions. You can't have that here, especially in the fourth.
In that fourth quarter, every possession means so much. You cannot afford to give possessions away. That's happened right there. Here's Menges. Skip pass, Archbold. 3 ball, no good. Menges down low, finds Raber. High arcing shot, no good. Good box out by Brandon Donnell, and there's your pump fake, which led to the foul. I believe this will be on Jalen Butts, Justin.
Going to be his third, but the second and even the third opportunity on that possession for Homestead. Northside needs to rebound. They can't give Homestead second and third opportunities.
Durnell. Durnell, 46-43. And hits the second, pulls his squad within 2 now, 46-44, 7 minutes on the clock. Brandon Johnson guarded by Ferguson. Wanted Brooks, good face guard there by Menges, forcing it go opposite. Butts comes for the screen, Kinney leaves it Johnson. Johnson cut off by Archbold, back now Quarles. Good patience here for Northside. No shot clock in the state of Indiana.
Great defense by Homestead, not allowing the penetration and not allowing Keon Brooks to get open. Parker Menges doing a great job.
Back up top to Butts. They'll reset. And now just holding.
That's fine. We all got bedtimes. Speed this game up.
6.5 left to go. Brandon Durnell just hang back. Coach Chris Johnson, if they want to just hold the ball, Chris Johnson will go ahead and go along with that. Now Kinney up top. As if they hold the ball, you're going to start hearing the crowd get on them. And here they start. Here they start, but the Northside fans are cheering it on. The decision from Coach Shabazz Khalik. But this is, in my opinion, not basketball. This is why we need the shot clock in the state of Indiana. Please give it to me. 5:40 on the clock, 46-44. Now they go into their offensive set. Kinney, they wanted to lob to Butts. Mangus, Brooks Jr., 15-foot pull-up, no good. Kinney skies for the board, put back, no good. Brooks Jr. with a tip. Brooks Jr. with a nice tip in to put his squad up by 4, 48-44, 5:25 remaining in this game.
And Coach Johnson telling his kids, you got to block out. Just like we said, Homestead getting second and third opportunities on one end. They allowed Northside to get a couple extra shots on that possession.
And that led to the tip in from Brooks Jr. 5:15 left in this championship final. Archibald gets a bump from Johnson.
That's going to be Brendan Johnson's fourth. Just a silly foul. You're 25 feet away from the basket.
Yeah, offensive players not doing anything that far, that deep, especially Archibald, who's not looking for the three ball anyway. So he will have to check out, Justin. In is back is number 3, Elijah Holmes.
And Johnson has been very good for Northside, being able to get to the basket. He's 4 of 4 from the field. He goes to the bench with 4 fouls.
So big foul call there, and 4th personal. So on the floor for Homestead, Archibald, Mangus, Ferguson, Buck, and Durnell, your starting 5. Ferguson with the size advantage. Drop step.
They're going to call for a
travel called.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, seen so many travel calls this week.
It looked like an awkward pivot, but just because it looks awkward doesn't mean it's a travel.
Very correct. So inbounds, 4 points is the lead for Northside. Under 5 minutes left in this game. Juan Quarles, Keon Brooks on the curl. Can't get it to go, rebounded by Mangus. Coach Shabazz Khalik asking, where's the foul? Numbers, Mangus. What hustle by Elijah Holmes. That would have been an open 3 in the corner for Buck, but knocked out of bounds. Heads up play and hustle from Holmes.
Great job to hustle back on defense.
4:40 on the clock. 4-point game. Durnell, that's a 2. Can't get it to go. Butts with the rebound. If you go up with one hand for a rebound against Butts, you will have no shot of coming down with the board. He is a next level rebounder. 4:25. Keon Brooks, that same play. Knocked away by Mangus. Mangus. Ferguson. 3 ball. Can't get it. Off the fingertips of Durnell, comes down to Butts with another rebound. Quarles. Jump stop and swatted by Ferguson from behind. And a timeout called by head coach Shabazz Khalik, Justin, with 4:05 left and a 4-point lead.
Parker Mangus has been the player for Homestead, so if I'm Chris Johnson, I'm finding more ways to get him the ball. Of course, Jack Ferguson as well, but Mangus has been on it this half.
Well, we got a second here in this 60-second timeout. I want to give a big shout out to Tunnel Vision Entertainment and Richard Phillips doing outstanding things in the community here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Check them out, Tunnel Vision Entertainment and Richard Phillips. Also, big shout out to Parkview Sports Medicine and Sports Center, Inc. None of this would be possible. Summit City Sports would not be sitting here and giving you all 18 games of live coverage of this 2016 Parkview Sports Medicine SAC Holiday Basketball Tournament. Also pleased to announce SummitCitySports.com is proud to partner with the News Sentinel, Allen County's oldest continuous operating business, bringing you the most comprehensive high school athletics coverage in the area. The News Sentinel is available for delivery 6 times a week in Allen County and always online at www.news-sentinel.com. So good atmosphere as always put on by Athletic Director Gary Raber here at the Holiday Tournament. We have 4:05 left in this boys final. Northside enjoying a 4-point lead. Ball inbound here to the Legends. Kinney up top. Holmes on the wing. Kinney, patience here for Northside, up 4. 3:40 on the clock. Brooks Jr. 17-foot pull-up, partially blocked by Mangus.
Foul.
Buck. They have numbers, pulls up from the top of the key, no good. Knocked away by Archbold, but we should go to Northside. That's a good call by the baseline official. 4-point edge still here for Northside, 3:22 left.
A lot of empty possessions here for Homestead in the middle part of this fourth. Northside hasn't really been able to take advantage, still holding on to a 4-point lead. 3:18 to go here in the fourth.
Yeah, you wonder if this holding the ball has kind of stagnated their offensive movement here. Almost like a prevent defense when you're up big in football. Leads, how many comebacks you've seen with the prevent defense in play. As Kinney blows by Archibald, but a foul called on the freshman.
Foul on Archibald, his second.
That is his second and the team's fourth. Inbound here with Northside. 3:04 on the clock. Inbound Devontae Kinney. Guarded by Sam Buck. Dangerous pass. Ferguson was reading it. Here comes a trap. Kinney. Juan Quarles. No good. And a foul on the rebound. We're going to stay on this end. The foul will be on Homestead. Jack Ferguson with the foul. That is his third.
That's a good foul, though, because Butts had it deep in the paint. He was going up for an easy layup before the foul.
Or a flush and really got the crowd into this here. 2:45 remaining. Butts down low. Wants to back it in. May have got away with the travel.
Carried it, didn't he?
Here comes Ferguson on the rebound. Dribbling through traffic. How did he avoid the charge? He is so slithery out on the break with his dribble drive. 2.5 left. We got a 2-point game. Kinney knocked it away, or Archibald knocked it away. We'll get it right on the third time. They wanted it off of Kinney's leg, not called. We'll stay with Northside. 48-46, 2:22 on the clock. Inbound to Butch. You can't have let him catch that low on an inbounds pass. That will 99% of the time lead to the easy lay-in, as it did right there. Jalen Butts now with 16. That is a game high. What a steal by Kinney. Left it to Brooks, and the finish. 6-point lead now for Northside. We're 1:58 left in this game. Homestead in trouble in the championship game here against Northside, the #1 seed in this tournament. So a 30-second timeout called by head coach Chris Johnson. What an outstanding game we have, and finish we are set to see in front of us here. SummitCitySports.com is live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. SummitCitySports.com. Homestead down by 6. We're just under 2 minutes to go in this contest. 1:50 on the clock.
Shabazz Khalik out of the timeout said one stop.
That was the theory. That was the.
That's not a stop.
That is definitely not a stop. And then Chris Johnson with the timeout as they pull within one possession, Justin.
Great play call by Chris Johnson. He knows Parker Mangus has a hot hand. Sets something up for him at the top of the key. Nails a three, cuts this lead in half.
Nice play out of the timeout by Chris Johnson. We have a full timeout on the floor. SummitCitySports.com, bringing you this broadcast. You can follow us on Twitter at 260sports. Like and follow our Facebook page, Summit City Sports. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. What a tournament we have seen here this week. We started at 9 a.m. on Monday morning. 6 games on Monday, 6 games on Tuesday. The semifinals, the 4 games yesterday, and our 2 finals here today. Jeff Mahoney on the camera and Tim Atkinson, myself here, calling your play-by-play all week long. My brain definitely and heart definitely is telling me, let's not end this tournament. Let's go for another couple days. But my throat is ready to call it quits here, Justin. I can tell you that. With 1:44 left in this contest, Homestead still with the shot, down 1 possession.
Homestead showing pressure.
Nearly thrown away on that inbound. Now Quarles, go back out of that pressure. They might come to trap here. Nope. Quarles needs to pull it out. That was dangerous. Juan Quarles, no reason to head baseline. Pull that ball back out and set up an offense. You're up by possession. 1:33 on the clock. Keon Brooks Jr. guarded by Mangus. Brooks Jr. with a good cut to the opposite block.
They turn the ball over?
I think he stepped over the end line. The official saying he stepped over the end line. What a call.
That's just the 7th turnover for Homestead.
And that's the most costly one, no doubt about it. 1:24 on the clock.
The steal.
Archibald with the steal. And then the foul on Kinney. What a turn of events there. Still down by 2 possessions, 54-49, 1:22 on the clock. Foul by Devontae Kinney, his 3rd, and Brandon Johnson will check in with his 4 fouls, and he'll send Juan Quarles to the bench. Offensive-defense situation here.
Missed opportunity there for North, up 5 and the ball. Give it back to Homestead.
And just on a sloppy inbounds too. Now Ferguson, he'll hand to Mangus, who has the hot hand. Holmes is gonna stay with him. Mangus backs him in, comes back out. They need to get something up here. Ferguson wants a screen from Archibald. Still has possession. Now to Mangus. There's a double screen. Now Archibald. He might step into a 3. No. Mangus, he'll hand. Now Ferguson. Pump fake. Took a hit. They wanted to travel on that far side. Good scrambling defense from Northside right now. 3 ball. Can't get it to go. That nearly fell. And we may have a jump ball.
Back to Homestead.
Oh, we got a foul.
Excuse me.
Hey, Archibald had all ball there, but the official was shielded behind the back as Northside can feel it. Up by 5, 42.9 seconds left.
Tremendous defensive possession by Northside, but let's remember, Northside's got to make free throws now. That's always an uncertainty.
No question about it. Such a huge part of the
where
game of
everybody's
basketball.
going. This game ain't over yet.
Oh, there's plenty of time left. You've seen crazier things happen as well. I mean, last night people started to leave early in the Homestead-Snyder game, and that was still a 1-possession game with 4 seconds left. Well, here a timeout called by Northside, and Brandon Johnson couldn't get the ball in, so a timeout, 42.9 seconds remaining, 54-49, full timeout, called by Northside, and 2 timeouts left for Homestead, 1 for the Northside Legends. What a game here we have in front of us. Brought to you by SummitCitySports.com.
Of course, Northside, if they can hold on the next 44 seconds, they will win their 4th consecutive SAC Holiday Tournament. No team, boys or girls, has ever won 4 consecutive Holiday Tournament championships. Homestead looking to win their 1st ever in their 2nd appearance. Still plenty of time, Tim.
What a stat there, Justin, dropping us some knowledge. Northside, of course, looking for that double repeat. as we now 54-49. Northside's game to lose here. As we have a whistle as they get the clock going. 42.9 seconds, official time on the clock. Inbound, Kinney, they got a foul right away, does Ferguson. That's Ferguson's fourth. 41.8.
Devontae Kinney missed his one and only free throw earlier this game very badly.
Yeah, air ball that hit only glass on the other side here in the first half. So let's see what happens. Worth a 1-and-1 here, Justin, at the 7th team foul. Devontae Kinney to the line, the senior. Back rim, no good. Durnell with the board. 40 seconds on the clock. Ferguson wants a screen. Gets it. Durnell, open. Wing three. Short. Rebounded by Butts. And 30.6 seconds. Butts is fouled. He'll head to the line to shoot the 1-and-1, but they don't count him in the books, as Justin mentioned.
Not Butts either. He's about a 50% free throw shooter.
This is the Achilles heel of Northside, and it can definitely be huge.
Yeah, the last couple possessions, Northside has done a very good job identifying Mangus and Ferguson and not allowing them to get a clean look whatsoever at the basket.
And it's all been hedging on those screens. They have done an outstanding job with the defender who's guarding the screener, has done a great job of just hedging and slowing up that offensive screen. So Butts, the senior, stepping up, comes to the plate and knocks it down. 30.6 seconds left, 55-49. Back rim, no good, rebounded by Mangus. They got to go. 28 on the clock. Mangus, Durnell, dribble drive, and he'll lay it in. Nope, just dropped, and that's kind of been the story.
It's going to be it
all night here. That's it in a nutshell for head coach Chris Johnson and Homestead. Just inches short on so much. But Northside, the fans and the team, they are feeling it. 20.1 seconds remaining in this game. As Grant Raber will check in. And a 1-and-1 for Brandon Johnson.
Homestead just went cold from the field there in the fourth quarter. And you know, that missed layup there, it sat up on the rim for a couple seconds, kind of represented the entire quarter for Homestead shooting the basketball.
Yeah, there's no question about that as Brandon Johnson steps up to the stripe and hits it. 56-49. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, Justin will hop down and we'll get some interviews after the game. So stay with us, don't go anywhere. Rebounded by Holmes, and that should do it. What a game, Northside. They pull the win, and they are champions here in the 2016 Parkview Sports Medicine SAC Holiday Tournament. Congratulations to Coach Shabazz Khalik and his Northside Legends as they win 56-49. Outstanding game by Northside as they pull the dub. As the Northside fans are serenading their team here after the win, and Coach Shabazz Khalik, with the win. And for, my goodness gracious, what a tournament here put on by Athletic Director Gary Raber. What a staff he has assembled. Top notch. We have here an outstanding job. They were led by Keon Brooks' 19 points. They win the contest 56-49. Justin Kinney heading down to get us some interviews. But congratulations, the Northside Legends and head coach Shabazz Khalik. with the dub and the championship here at Wayne High School. Today's broadcast and all of your holiday tournament broadcasts have been brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Jeff Mahoney's been on the camera. Tim Atkinson calling your play-by-play. What a tournament here at Wayne. So as we wait here patiently as Northside wins 4 straight SAC holiday tournaments. What a show put on in this tournament by the legends. So exciting to watch and cover. But a good tournament as well for Homestead. They brought us one of the best games of the tournament. That was last night against Snyder. What a contest and tournament we have had before us here at Wayne High School. (56-49). What a night. What a day of action. Both finals. We saw the number 1 seeded Homestead Lady Spartans take the title in the girls game. They win back-to-back. And then the boys here, the Northside Legends, taking the dub and the title and winning their 4th straight holiday tournament.
Congratulations to the Parkview Sports Medicine Summit Athletic Conference champions, the Northside Redskins Legends. Representing Parkview Sports Medicine are Candace Duncan, and presenting the medals will be the principal of Wayne High School, Mr. John Hauser. First recipient, Elijah Long.
The PA announcer going over the players on the Northside Legends roster.
Nate Carball.
Outstanding tournament for Northside. Jordan Moore, he's a talented freshman.
Carlos
O'Brien. Elijah Holmes, starting point guard. Jalen Butts, the starting center, heading to DePaul.
Keon Brooks Jr.,
the super top 25 player in the sophomore class, being recruited by everybody under the sun. Devontae Kinney, the ball hawking guard. Juan Quarles, a 3-point lights out shooter. And Brandon Johnson, the ultra athletic wing. And finally, Malik Martin.
Coach
Shabazz Khalik, the head coach of Northside, who is in his 7th year at the school. 108 wins coming into the season. As the coaching staff is getting some love as well.
Keon Brooks Sr.
Keon Brooks Sr.
Demetrius
Jackson, probably the most well-dressed coach in the tournament. Take a peek. Ty Wynn.
Kyle Bond.
So as we wait for Justin Kinney as they finish a little bit of the celebration, and Justin Kinney will get us some interviews. But congratulations, the Northside Legends picking up their 4th straight SAC Holiday Tournament title. What an outstanding tournament on display here at Northside, or excuse me, here at Wayne High School, put on by Athletic Director Gary Raber and staff. Been a top-notch event, as always, put on at Wayne High School. So Northside all with the 4 fingers up. That's for the 4 straight holiday tournament championship titles. Nothing but smiles there for the Legends. Camera's going nuts here on this near side. But while we got a second, while we wait for Justin Kinney, I want to give a couple of shout outs. Make sure you guys check out Tunnel Vision Entertainment, led by Richard Phillips. They are doing outstanding things in our community here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Check them out, Tunnel Vision Entertainment. Also, big shout out to Parkview Sports Medicine, who's a proud supporter of Fort Wayne area athletics and its athletes. Parkview Sports Medicine can provide the training, treatment, education you need to advance your sports game. Have questions about injury prevention, sports nutrition, and more? We've got you covered. That's Parkview Sports Medicine at parkview.com. Well, Justin Kinney, looks like he's got Coach Shabazz Khalid. We'll bring him over here, get him into our camera as we'll go to Justin Kinney.
Thanks, Tim. Here with Northside, Coach Shabazz Khalid. Coach, 4 straight, brother. How's it feel?
Oh, it feels great, man. It feels great. You know, every year is different because you have other kids that haven't won it before. So you focus on that and want to get those kids an opportunity to share that experience. So it's nice for those kids to have that opportunity too. So awesome experience, especially considering nobody's done it.
Jalen Butts picks up his second foul. They're late in the first quarter. You guys survived the majority of the second quarter without your star player on the floor. How'd you do it?
Defensive effort. I think our guards did a tremendous job of making them take tough shots, difficult shots. We know they're great shooters, but we wanted to get hands up and contest shots. And then we did a good job on the glass, specifically with Jalen out. We gave up a couple offensive rebounds, but they were long rebounds, so that's understandable. The shots, threes come off long, but I think our guards did a good job of digging down and trying to help rebound with Keon down there with Jalen out. So the defensive effort was what helped us when Jalen was out.
The defensive effort late in the fourth. Parker Mangus was hot. We know what Jack Ferguson could do. Identifying those guys and making sure they were covered seemed like an important part of late in that game.
Oh, it was a priority. Mangus got loose on us one time there. Towards the end, hit a big 3. He's one of the guys we wanted to focus on as well as Ferguson. I think last night, too, Ferguson was a little wore down. Later in the game, Snyder pressed him the whole night, so he looked a little tired, and we want to keep the pressure up on him and kind of wear him down because he's their primary ball handler, and I think towards the end, it was harder for him to get open because he was a little fatigued, but Mangus had it going, and he helped them stay in it towards the end, and then we got to make free throws at the end of the game as well.
How did this team refocus after that Snyder loss?
It's a wake-up call. I think, our guys were feeling themselves a little bit too much after the Lawrence North victory. Came back home, and that whole week was all about celebration as opposed to preparation. So now, hopefully our guys understand. If you look at last year and the year before, we've had the same success, but we haven't anything else to account for. So now we want to redirect our focus for other things as well and realize that this is not going to be the pinnacle of our season. This is just a stepping stone on the path that we want to go on.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Anytime, man. Thank you.
Northside Coach Shabazz Khalid, back to you, Tim.
Thanks, Justin. Outstanding job, Coach Shabazz Khalid. Outstanding words there from the head coach of the Northside Legends. Justin's going to go track down a player or two, get them on camera and get some love. So he'll track down. Let's see who he'll get. Looks like Justin's grabbed Juan Quarles here. Here's Justin with Juan Quarles, the outstanding shooter.
Thanks, Tim. Here with senior Northside Juan Quarles. Juan, 4 straight, man. How's it feel?
It feels amazing, me transferring here to be a part of a program bigger than myself and come to make history. I mean, that has to be one of the greatest feelings I've had so far in my life.
What was the key tonight against a very talented Homestead team with a lot of good shooters?
execution, rebounds, and believing in one another's abilities.
Defensively, I mean, Parker Mangus can shoot, Jack Ferguson can shoot. Late in that game in particular, you guys were very tough on defense. We don't think of Northside as being a defensive team, but big stops there late.
We just got to give credit where credit is due to Devontae, Kenny, Brandon, and just the whole team as a group. Collectively, we were locked in. We were on defense. We were executing the game, playing defensively, whether it was not giving Jack any shots, not helping off of any shooters. I mean, we just executed, man.
After that Snyder loss, how did you guys kind of refocus and prepare moving forward?
When we went back to practice, Boz kind of said, we can't let this define our season. And we didn't let it define our season. We let it fuel us to get better in areas where we weren't good at in the Snyder game.
How does this propel you guys now into the second half of the season?
It just lets us know that it gives us confidence in our abilities, and it lets us know what we can do and how much we can get better.
All right, Senior Juan Corals in Northside. Thanks, bud. Congratulations. Back to you, Tim.
Thanks, Justin. Outstanding job for us here. Justin Kinney with the News Sentinel. SummitCitySports.com here, coming to you live as we are closing down our last broadcast of the tournament. SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports. Like our Facebook page and follow it, Summit City Sports. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. What a tournament here, the 2016 Parkview Sports Medicine Summit Athletic Conference tourney. Congratulations to the number 1 seed Homestead Lady Spartans who win the girls' side of things. And congratulations to the Northside Legends who win their 4th straight SAC Holiday Tournament. What a win, and Coach Shabazz Khalik keeps the winning ways alive and the streaks going here at Wayne High School. Outstanding job put on by all here. Athletic Director Gary Raber and company. Well, for Jeff Mahoney, Justin Kinney, Dan Vance, this is Tim Atkinson. Thanks for checking us out all weekend long. Make sure you give us some feedback out on social media. We love to hear it. Congratulations once again to the Homestead Lady Spartans and the Northside Legends. SummitCitySports.com was live.